Hey guys, Sid's here. Welcome to yet another interview in the Hall of Fame. And today I have someone very, very special. Somebody that I have worked under for more than 4 years during my corporate life, and someone who's truly mentored me and helped me grow in to where I am today. So for me, it's truly an honor and privilege to have somebody here who I really look up to, who has come into this model, implemented this model, and now is helping multiple businesses scale up using two very powerful principles that we're going to share with you. So first of all, Vijay, thank you so much for being here. We have the one and only Vijay Parthasarathy. Great to be here.
Thank you so much, Siddharth. And it's really like a journey where from 2006, where we've known each other. And
Yes.
I think you're humble enough to say that I mentored you, but yeah, we were good friends. And today, yes, I almost copy paste what you have been doing, and it's really done three things. Number one is it's ignited my passion for what I'm doing even more, and number two,
Mhm.
I wake up in the morning thinking about what all I can learn during the day and thereby implement, which are so many new things happening, right?
Yeah.
And it's been a great journey. It's now 3 months. Of course, there's been a preparation for before this 3 months. It's not. I mean, things don't happen
Mhm.
like that. I think
Yes.
year of preparation, and this 3 months has been really, really awesome.
Amazing. Thank you, Vijay, for sharing. And just for some of you may know, Vijay's background is he has been in the corporate world in very, very senior level positions for many years and has helped some of the biggest of the brands scale up their business. And the last 5 months, Vijay has been able to implement this model, achieved over 5 lakhs in 90 days, and just getting started now implementing this model. So, Vijay, can you just tell us more about the mindset of you know being in the corporate world, working under a big brand, big banner versus, and how were you able to transition into, the consulting model where you're now on your own helping businesses? Just tell us about the mindset differences or the paradigms there.
Yeah, see, the like you said, I've had a journey of about 35 years across Procter& Gamble, Colgate Palmolive, Johnson& Johnson, Alphabet in Dubai, etc., where I've been CEO for close to 20 years. And a time came when I decided to be on my own, and that was in 2011, 2012. And now, for whatever reason, since you asked me about the mindset, I'll just share with you, which is another story by itself.
Yes.
Set me off into a panel of, for the next 4 years, I went through all kinds of depression and anxiety disorders and all kinds of stuff. And I came out of it far more powerful than ever before. And that's for another time. So the transition was, what is it that I need to learn and add value compared to what is it that's been happening? And so I was searching and searching, and I was learning and learning all the time. And around 2017, is when I met you, re-met you in that sense of the word. And then we went through a lot of iterations and things like that. What is it that I can do? And then you started with this whole concept of let's create a website. And now we are 3 years, okay, but website. And then I did a lot of one-to-one consulting. I still do corporate consulting. That's a different.
Yes.
Right. What I realized in the corporate consulting is that your time is equal to money. And that's a very difficult game because your time on this planet is limited. I can only devote 5 days. That means I can get only 5 clients if I give 1 day per client. And that is not a scalable model. So I was working on it. I still have about 6 or 7 very solid corporate clients, but that priority is decreasing right now. So that's when I got more and more involved with you. I got introduced to all your webinars. I went through them once, twice, thrice, and then I realized that this is a model where one to many is really awesome. And to be honest with you, I was not seeking, whether you believe it or not. I mean, I'm sure you believe it. I'm not really seeking money and other stuff because I've had most of it in my journey. I've had the best of houses and cars and stuff like that. But I really wanted to see how I could make a difference. So, and the learning was very exciting. From I took the first course from you, and I went through the Teachable. I mean, intricate things of Teachable and Get Response and the Zoom. I've been doing Zoom for the last 3 years, right? And then and of course trying out Mailchimp, trying out Remio, trying out with that funnel, click funnels, and trying out multiple things, and finally embarked upon a model and created a digital process, and which I believe, I mean, I may be the guy saying it, which is probably one of a kind in the world, because I use two pillars, one of rewiring your mindset and the other is rewiring your business. And I have literally copy pasted what you tell, Siddharth. I used to do it for 60 minutes, and now I'm doing it for 90 minutes, and I love doing it. I mean, and there are, to be honest with you, I've just started this, right? So I get about 250, 300 people registering. I get about 120 people online. At least 95 people stay throughout the 90 minutes, because the Zoom gives you the data of how many people stay, etc. So I can carry on like this. Tell me when to stop.
No. Actually, it's beautiful the way that you were able to explain your journey. And I also remember, 2011 was some of you watching this. Vijay was my boss. Vijay, you had given me the pink slip. I had to live, and I think at the same time, even you were going through that transition, because it was a different corporate structure then, right, in that organization, and we both had to pivot. Yes.
Pink slip just to let the world know.
Yes.
But because of you, but because of the fact that the vertical didn't exist, right? I mean, and even I moved up, right? Obviously, as you know, right? So.
Absolutely. In fact, that is what I normally tell in my story. Like 2011, I had lost my job, but then I also tell that you told me that it is not because of me; it is because of the changes. But I think it was the best time for me to make that decision to start looking at new things. And I'm sure even that was one of those phases where we had to redefine ourselves in multiple ways. So. The next question that you already shared with us a little bit about this, what all the new things that you implemented. My question to you here is, there may be a lot of people who are also similar like you, who have been in the corporate world for a long time, who have worked in very senior level positions, who are extremely good at what they do in terms of driving big organizations. And considering where the situation is right now in the world, what advice would you have for them? Like, I'm talking about those people who have a good track record, but maybe due to the market conditions, even their positions may be at stake. So what do you have to say for that?
Yeah, very true, because I'm now, including my own batchmates and many other people whom I'm in touch with, they all have this, each of them are a wealth of knowledge, and they can actually give hell of a lot. Some in AI, some in blockchain, some in selling, some in every one of them. And they really do not know how they can actually impact the world, and they can do a lot. And so, I mean, obviously this has come at a time when, this is like a tremendous blessing to be able to, but there are certain things that you need to be different in terms of your own mindset to be able to do these kind of stuff. Because not many people, what I have realized is two things they don't seem to be able to either have the confidence or do. Number one is that the majority of the successes may not be, I'm not, so don't misunderstand me, I'm not trying to belittle anybody here, okay? I'm just trying to, please take that as a disclaimer.
Yes.
I have 100% respect for everything. They may not be able to communicate very effectively their success story, which, like I've gone to workshops and people come on stage, they don't seem to inspire the people in terms of generating the story. So I think there is an element where they can work on this. Okay, they need not, I mean, the other thing is the ability to communicate on digital platform, is something that they can practice on with themselves and be able to do this. And this is not something, it's not some rocket science, etc. It's just getting used to knowing that even though you may not be the best looking guy, you can still look at yourself and keep talking, So these are the things on the content side. And how, most important thing is, a lot of the people who are successes tell about what they do. They should, I mean, what I see is, nobody really cares what you are, whether you're from IIT, nobody really cares. What they care is, what is in it for me? What is it, the value that I can get? So if you can understand that and then paraphrase that and be able to give that in terms of value, there is a huge amount of value they can give. So this is my tool.
Absolutely. And I also love I've always liked the fact that you had the personal development angle along with business development. So I'm sure, many people who are in that role, they may or may not be having that element, because when that personal element is there, it also helps them to possibly, maybe restart something, and they're open to learning new things rather than just having the badges of their accomplishments and just living with that. Yeah. What are your thoughts on that? Yes.
No, right. See, I have grown and hundreds of books behind me are ratification for that. My single belief is that everything is in the mind. Once you got your mind right, you can get everything else right. So in fact, even my webinar, I spent the first more than a couple of minutes saying this. It's like the software. If you don't get the software right, whatever hardware you have, it won't work, right? So if you focus only on my business and, like what is the audience, what is this? Yes, it will work. But if you do not, it's like I keep telling people that if you may be a fantastically good looking guy, but if you're sitting in a 1 watt bulb, you're not going to look great. And that's what we're all operating on. And not recognizing that we are actually a 1,000,000 watt bulb and we can actually operate at that. At that level, if I can take people to that, I have gone through a lot of crisis and a lot of things and come out in spite of all the great things. And I want to put that and tell them how you can at least become a 1,000 watt bulb and then you will look better. So the personal element is the key. I mean, and I think, and a majority of the people may or may not have the patience. And today, look at it. Today it is COVID. Tomorrow it could be COVID. Could be anything. I mean, you can't just be waiting for the next vaccine. By the time another virus comes, you can't be, like they say, at the whims and fancies of something happening in the universe, right? I mean, what happens to you, you may or may not have control. But what you do with what happens to you, you have 100% control. Like you said in 2011. You didn't have control, but you did something else which was 100% in your control. And today, look at where you are. And that's where, I come from.
Absolutely. Totally resonate with you, Vijay. Yes. So now when you look at once you stepped into the journey of, going through my courses and things like that, what were the key elements that you were able to, bring out that really had an impact in the way that you have developed your model right now? Can you just bring out maybe a few points on that?
See, one of the things that when I went through your program is, I'm not saying it because it's an interview, but I'm just saying it is so crystal clear and so like ABC. You just take it and put it, and it works out to a beautiful model. So I think kudos to you for having been able to, say that. Like originally I used to say I'm not tech savvy. Okay, now I say like I'm fully tech. Okay, I mean I'm just giving an example, but so that's one thing, the ability to take every single thing that you've said, and the important thing is we need to be able to see one is what you're telling as a process, and two is we need to have what is it that we really want to give which will add value. The important thing is to constantly look at what value can I give. And because I have people who come and say I want a 10 lakh job. I keep telling this, forget about a 10 lakh job. What is the value that you can give? You may get a 1 crore job. It's not about what you want, it's about what you can give. And that I think came out through you also. And therefore I set myself in terms of what is the product that I can create, what is the value that I can give, what is my strengths, and how can I convert to what that audience wants. And then I created this digital product. How do I create this product? Then I went through your course in terms of, you clearly said how the teachable helps. So I've been on it fully, so similarly. So that's exactly what it is. I mean, taking steps and also how to run a webinar, for example. Like I normally pride myself that I speak well, etc. for a long time. There are two things in a webinar. Number one is the ability to keep the attention of the audience when you don't know what they're doing in their room, right? Number one, on the stage at least you have a feel and you can do. Yeah, you have no clue. I mean, so number one is to be ability to keep the attention, which I've learned from you. And number two, that's crucial. Otherwise, you'll be talking to yourself, 100 guys or no 100 guys. Number two, if you want to do a selling job on a webinar, right? And that requires a specific technique. And I think I have really learned that. I always prided I'm reasonably okay at sales and things like that, but there's a difference in terms of, and it's never about conning the guy. It's always about giving value and trying to see at least, because you can't con a guy for once, twice, and try to, and the intention is not that. Intention is to give. And I have learned that technique. So effectively three things. One is the various processes which are so simple. Number two is the attention generating and keeping the attention span of the audience continuously. And number three is a specific, like almost a scientific way of creating a selling process. And that is brilliant, to be honest with you. I mean, and saying that also, you've spent about 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs learning that, and you're giving it free. I haven't spent that except my TTT where I spent about 3 odd lakhs. But otherwise, yes. So
that's awesome. So tell us about that phase of you learning all these different systems. Like, was it overwhelming initially, or how did you push through it? And because previously you had the tag non-technical, and now you're full on and every single system. So tell us about that journey.
See, it is somewhat frustrating, to be honest with you. There are times when I just could not do something, and I try to WhatsApp you, and maybe deliberately, otherwise I won't get a reply from you, which is good actually, because if I get a reply, then I'll obviously do that. And struggling and like creating that hub.vijayparthasarathi.com, which it took me enormous amount of time, but the satisfaction I got when you didn't answer back, I was stuck for 3 days on one particular thing. I don't remember what it was, and I was trying to get you, and you didn't answer, and finally I cracked it, and then I said, wow. So that is frustration. There are some things been easy, and then certain things I still don't know. Obviously, I still don't understand a lot of things, and it's a learning thing, and sometimes get response, gives up on me. Sometimes Zoom, there are issues with Zoom. All these things are a constant thing. But if you know that you can handle whatever comes your way, and there is somebody I feel like I keep telling my wife also, like you're like a classic example of what all one can do, and therefore I know that I can reach out to you in case of emergency in terms of, until now it's not happened like that. So that journey has been exciting, frustrating, and satisfying. And now I tell other people with pride. Like, I'll give you an example if we have the time. Like, I have a friend of mine who's a very big time film producer's son-in-law, and he's really big time. And he teaches at the ISB and the IIM Ahmedabad and all that. And we were chatting one day, and he said, "See, I think one day I have to create all this online." And I told him, "Listen, boss, I've already done it." So he was flabbergasted. He said, "Can you teach me how?" So that's the kind of journey. I don't know if I've been able.
Amazing. Yes. So it was frustrating, but then you had to push through, but that satisfaction of now having the independence to control it's priceless. Now you have the control over your business, and of course, how to deal with those small bugs that keep happening.
Many things to go, many things to learn.
Yes.
Including the camera, including the mic, you see, I have still with me, what is that called? The headphones that you recommended. I see, one of the things about trust, when, like you tell about Vic, right? That you tell me something to buy, I'll buy. You told me, see, 922 camera, yes, it's on. You told me headphones, iPhone, no questions. I don't want to think and discuss all this. The trust is that I know that if I don't want to experiment too, So that's one trust that I have in you, and it's worked.
Thank you, Vijay. Awesome.
Teachable, I'll do teachable, right? And so
awesome. So now I want to shift gears into the topic of business itself. Like, I know you've been in the industry, you've seen things move, and even your topic now is like helping businesses bounce back after the COVID. So can you go a little bit deeper into that? On what have you studied, or what patterns have you noticed? Because you are super networked with all the big key decision makers in the world. So where do you think things are moving? And how should businesses prepare themselves?
Right. See, which actually for about 2-3 years ago also I used to say, I believe in the next couple of years, the 2 or 3 things that are going to shine out, which I was saying even 3 years ago, is ability to handle your mental health and the ability to do something completely different in what you're doing today. And this is like, for example, if you take any business, be it plywood, be it furniture, be it tiles, be it digital marketing services, there are hundreds and hundreds of people who offer almost identical services. And when they are in the market today, things are different. The needs of the people have rationalized. The pie is smaller, and people view life differently now. So you need to be doing things which are different to be able to act. And this is what I teach. What are the things you can, and why are they, like, see, fortunately I have worked in companies which have been there for 200 years, 150 years, Procter & Gamble, Coke, Colgate, Palmolive. So what is it that is in them that can sustain for 235 years? There must be some, and luckily I've been in them and I understand that, and I try and I tell people who are even 1 lakh or 10 lakh as a turnover, use these techniques, 1, 2, 3, 4, and you will see a difference. And that's what I see the difference. On the other side, I tell all the people that work on your mind. It's very, very important, because the smallest of thing, if it starts rattling you, then you will not be, even the best of business you won't be able to handle. But if the biggest of things doesn't rattle you, you can do with the smallest of business and achieve success. So which is what I think the world needs, and which is what I'm trying to put across in the program that I'm doing.
Amazing. And how important has spirituality been in your growth personally, because I think we also connect on that level. So I know it is a slightly off topic, but I think it is important to address this also. How has that played a role in your life?
Very much, Siddharth. See, my journey obviously is far longer than yours, but these journeys, at least in me, goes via the religion mode into a spirituality mode. I mean, there is a huge difference between the two, and that's for another day. But spirituality is what gives me the half my books are it gives me the base. When I get up in the morning, the first 15 minutes of meditation, as soon as I get up, asking the fundamental question, who am I? And doing the day in respect to it. There is no doubt on that, and spirituality has been a very, very strong factor in doing what I'm doing. Absolutely.
Amazing. You achieved a lot, Vijay, and now you're starting off on this new innings, I should say, with where now I feel that you're really stepping into something where you look forward to each day, like to serving the next businesses. So what is your vision for the next 3 to 5 years?
I have one single vision, which is I want to empower 100,000 people in the next 10 years to be what I call as diamonds in the sky. 100,000 people in 10 years, and I've already got 1,000 now, right?
Wow.
99 to go.
Amazing. Great. So all of you watching this, this has been a great interaction. And in my YouTube channel, in the description, you can go and check out. I've given a link to Vijay's next webinar, Vijay's website. You can go and have a look at it and, learn about his techniques that he's going to share based on his vast experience that he's had with the Fortune 500s. And if you want to implement the same model, which is the freedom business model, I've given another link there to the formula. You can go and watch the formula video, get into the bandwagon, and you can create something truly valuable for yourself based on your interests, based on your passions, based on what you can really add value to the world. So before we close this interview, Vijay, I just wanted to ask you one. Normally I end all my interviews with this question. Based on all your years of experience, based on all your learnings, the ups and downs, if you have to bring it down to one success principle, what would that principle be for the audience?
I think, I would use two words, okay?
Please go ahead.
So I would say discipline and persistence.
You want to elaborate on that a little bit more? Yes.
Yes. See, discipline gives you the ability to do what is required in spite of the fact, even if it's the differentiating factor between doing what you need to do versus what you want to do. And a lot of time there is a conflict. And if you're able to do that, what you need to do, and keep away what you want to do, and that's one thing. And doing it once is one thing, but persistently trying it and persistently getting across is what at least has helped me tremendously. I mean, these are the factors. Like wherever I am in the world, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, go ahead.
Wherever I'm in the world, 4 o'clock in Germany, I still go for my walk. 30 years non-stop, right? So that is the kind of discipline that has helped me, and persistence. And this is and I see that in a lot of successful people. And yeah, of course there are many other factors, right? Yes. But since you asked me for one or two, so I can elaborate on these.
Thank you, Vijay. Thank you so much. Wish you all the best for you to achieve that milestone of 100,000 diamonds in the sky. Yeah, thank you so much for this. And all of you here, you can just...
Internet is a little bit unstable.
Yes. Your voice is a little choppy, but you want to complete that sentence, you're saying? Yeah. So even though it's breaking a little bit, I just want to thank Vijay for your time. And those of you who are watching this either on Facebook or YouTube, please share your comments below. Please type in what was your biggest learning. And we would love to read some of those comments. So Vijay, you wanted to close with a comment? Okay, so I think we lost him, but anyway, we will keep that for later. Thank you so much.